Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
We are live. We are live. We are live. I've been waiting to say this for a long time. On a Friday, it's all leaving with your boy Barry Grant. You can catch the show on Instagram, X, TikTok. Going to be on Instagram at All Even Podcast, X All Even Podcast, TikTok at All Even Media. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. We are on YouTube. We are live. You can catch the show here. Please hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend. The page is growing. Call.
Hey, how are you?
What's up?
We are alive.
It's a big show.
It's a big show.
Monumental show for All Even Podcast, and I'm glad that you're here. You haven't been here, very inconsistent. We know why. It's fine. I'm not blaming you. I'm just glad that you're here.
I feel pretty blamed, but thanks. I'm happy to be here.
No, there is no blame.
I felt it.
There is no blame.
You did it.
I appreciate you.
You did it live.
I did.
You did.
But you look good.
Thanks, buddy.
You're ready to roll.
Let's roll.
There's some big news. Listen, we had a conversation about what's going on behind the scenes about certain things about me. I've picked my team.
You're going to come out.
I'm going to come out of the closet today.
Okay.
I am.
Good.
So we're going to reveal that.
I want you to be, free.
I want to be honest and free and be able to share to the public.
I'm happy for you.
But good to see you.
You too, bro.
Jimmy the Super Intern is here.
How's it going?
Very good. Fired up tonight. You know that.
Yeah, it's a new experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exciting.
Good. Good to see you as well. Jazz in the building. She got her nice, what kind of wine is it? Cabernet wine.
And it's a sweet red wine.
Okay, you're doing too much now. You're doing too much. But good to see you. Look good. Silent Assassin is here, as usual.
Yeah.
You are the constant.
Yep.
You're just like me.
Yeah.
The constant on the show. So shouts to you, homie. This is a monumental day. Do you have anything to say?
Very exciting day and more good things to come.
Yeah. Lots to get into. We got a lot of topics to discuss. We have the championship week ahead of us. We have the AFC championship. We have the NFC championship. A lot of coaches got signed. A lot of coaches got hired. We got Jets Watch, Aaron Glenn to the Jets. We have Ben Johnson to the Bears. We have Brian Schottenheimer just signed a deal with the Dallas Cowboys. We have Robert Saleh going back to the 49ers. There's a lot of moving parts that's going on, so we're going to discuss all of that. I also want to discuss who's actually going to be more successful, Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson. They're actually coming from the same place. Which coach is actually going to be set up for success more than the other? So I definitely want to discuss that. Did I say we're doing Just Watch?
You said that.
I did say that. All right.
You said it live.
I did say that as well. Live. Yeah, live. NBA stuff. The Miami Heat are dicking around with Jimmy Butler. It's ridiculous at this point. They just need to trade the man. We're going to talk about that. Ben Simmons. There's some Ben Simmons conversation I'd like to have as well. He almost stepped away from the what made him. We're going to talk about that. What's his name? D'Lo said something very interesting I like to discuss as well about free basketball. I don't really know what that means. A lot of people don't really understand, but I kind of understand what he's talking about. So we're going to talk about that. Major League Baseball news. We're going to talk about the Mets. Pete Alonso is going crazy. It's playing out just the way I wanted it to play out. I love it. Silent Assassin doesn't like it. All right, so we're going to talk about Pete, my irrelevant news of the week, and then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Now, before I get into that, did you guys hear about the Karen in Ohio?
Nope.
Didn't hear about it. Well, this lady lives in an affluent Ohio neighborhood. And she was walking her children, young children. She had a young child that's in a stroller. She had another young child that wasn't in a stroller. So she's walking her children. And drives this silver truck, goes into this driveway. She gets fearful and also turns into the same driveway. She then rings the doorbell. No one responds. So then there's conversations behind her, and she's like, "Do you live here?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, I live here." "I don't think you do." And then all of a sudden, the stroller falls down the steps. She tells the little kid to start running, and they start screaming, "Hey, help me! Help! Help!" And I'm watching this shit. I'm like, "Oh, I know what's going on here. We've seen this all too many times." The Karen watch, right? The Karen watch. So the guy is black, light-skinned guy. He's a developer. He's a contractor. All of this stuff. Lives in an affluent neighborhood in Rich, Ohio, the white side, right? And has the nicest house in the actual community.
It's called Rich, Ohio.
Yeah. No, it's not. That's my name.
You did.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the biggest house on the block is owned by the only black people in this community. So obviously, that's a good milestone. I love that, right? Well, it gets better. So his angle of the story is he's coming home from his development. That's fine. We're live, baby. He's coming home from his development, and he's slowing up to look at his Christmas lights because this transpired back in November, right? So they just released the camera footage recently. This happened in November, so he's looking at house with all the nice bright lights. Looks good, right? So he's slowing up to look at his lights. So he drives into the driveway and he sees this person on his stoop. Like, so he asks the question, "Hey, do you need any help? Are you okay?" He's thinking that somebody's just coming to his house because he said he has young kids. There's always kids coming in and out of his crib. It doesn't really, it's nothing to him. So he's asking her, "Hey, you looking for somebody to help?" She didn't respond to him. So now he's looking at her like, "Okay, well, I don't know what's going on." That's when she asked him the question of, "Do you live here?" He said, "Yes, I live here." "I don't think you do." And that's when she takes off running down the block, right? So she calls the cops. The husband comes back to her husband, Karen's husband, comes back to the house and says, "Hey, did somebody chase my wife over here in a silver truck?" So the husband's in the house. So the wife comes to the door and says, "Nobody chased anybody. What are you talking about?" So he comes out like, "Yo, I literally asked her if she needed any help or whatever it was, and she didn't respond to me. And then she asked me if I lived here. Of course I live here. This is my house." "Oh, well, you have to understand from my standpoint. Please don't get mad at me, right? If it didn't have the actual ring camera, we would never know that this transpired because she did call the cops, right? So all of a sudden now she's playing the Karen game. She's going on social media talking about, "Well, I am not a racist because I didn't know he was black. I thought it was a white man." So that makes it okay for you to just make up stories. Still a Karen, doesn't fucking matter, right? But it's even worse that he's black, right? And got dreads. So here's my issue about the whole situation. She said that she feared for her life, right? This is the whole part that made me laugh, right? Feared for her life. Now, you already know how I process things. I have to be able to get the whole story or whatever story the person giving me, and then I have to kind of dissect that. So let's get this straight. She's fearing for her life, yet you're walking your two fucking kids after 6 p.m. and it's dark outside. So if you were really fearing for your life, why would you be outside walking your children after dark?
Even he said he's like, "It's like the safest neighborhood."
Yo,
Like,
exactly.
What's the problem?
The fact that you stepped out of your house after dark to walk your kids, you know what type of area that is.
Yeah.
So don't talk about you fear for your life. That don't make sense.
Also, you're on someone else's property. You have the audacity to say like, "Oh, I don't think you live
I
here."
don't think you live
Get
here.
off my porch.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Get off my porch before I kick you in the ass and then beat up your husband too. And both of y'all can go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't understand those type of situations. Karen, I didn't think that this level of Karen was still around, especially at the start of the New Year. It's like, come on now, what are we doing here? Well, you got anything to say?
Fuck her.
Why? Who cares?
Okay, go ahead, fuck her.
That's-
That's it. She should have. Come on. She lucky. She lucky it ended like that. He had rights to shoot her.
Facts.
If it was Texas,
if it was Florida,
Florida's a whole nother. You can shoot anybody.
Yeah.
But if it was Texas, you have a right to back somebody up. I don't know if it works with interracial things. Maybe it's just white people can black people down, but black people do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it works on that side.
But still, it'd be nice to say, hey, back up. You're a threat. And you got the ring camera. I wish you would just point and say, gotcha, bitch.
Right.
That should have been great.
Yeah, so that listen, the everybody's dragging her. Everybody's dragging her. So she's come out with several videos. I've apologized several times, and they haven't said anything to me. They haven't accepted my goddamn right. I'm not gonna accept your apology. For what? For what? What am I accepting your apology for?
Even in the moment, I saw the video, they were like, I hope you're not filming me. And they just kind of like didn't say anything. Like they took like a pause. It's like, lady, are you serious? Like about the situation?
Right.
It's like, why is this even a thing? And then now, like, of course, like, you're making a situation out of nothing. Like, what's going on here?
I don't understand. I don't get it, but I love the fact that she's being dragged, and I hope that they continue to drag her. So that's what I'm on. I'm not one of those people that want a resolution that's going to be nice. No, continue to drag her. Continue.
There has to be repercussions.
There's never repercussions on that side. You know that.
But I'm just saying that it has to be like you can't just go like you can't make a bold assumption and put somebody in a light that they don't live in the neighborhood on their property.
Right.
Then call the cops and then sit there and say, and then get on the internet and cry and say, oh, I'm sorry, I was fearing for my life. That paints the rhetoric that you are scared of this person because of who they are and what they are.
100%.
Not knowing this person one bit, maybe showing that this person couldn't be in the position that they are. And it really didn't sit right with you, so it didn't match up. So realistically, the repercussions should be public as the disrespect was.
Yeah.
I think please turn down the audio.
My bad.
We're live, bro. Like, come on, do your job, bro.
Yeah. But nah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. It's one of those things where it's just like I think that they said that there's a level of I think she had an issue before. He was gonna open the box. All right, go ahead.
You can't hear it.
Go ahead.
You couldn't hear it.
You open the box.
Hey.
Let's make sure that by next week we're gonna clean all this stuff up. So you go ahead. You go ahead. What kind of slices is it? Regular? Well, it fits the bill. Child pizza. You're doing too much, all right? You're doing too much. Moving on. Yeah, we're live. Got you. You can use the toilet paper. Clean your face. That's nasty work. That is nasty work. So we have some comments in there. Shouts to all the people that are commenting there. He says, so how about the new Cowboys head coach? We are going to speak about that. Absolutely. I don't really care because I'm coming out of the closet now. It's time for the reveal.
Think so?
Yeah, it's time for the reveal.
I wish you had something like to really do it the right way.
What do you mean? I'm live. That's the perfect way to do it. So I'm tired of hiding. Okay, I have to be honest. This has been in the works for a very long time. I just haven't said anything. But I've been supporting this team for quite a while now. It's been about 2 years. Once Aaron Rodgers got back to the Jets, I was there in the shadows supporting this team. Right?
Hello, darkness, one.
Because I saw the writing on the wall. I saw the writing on the wall to be able to, get out of Dallas. And now they made their decision, and we're going to talk about that. But before we do that, Jets watch. We don't have the sound effect right now, so
I don't have the beer either. But
yeah.
we did something good, bro.
Yeah,
we did something good.
Aaron Glenn returns home. Aaron Glenn is now the new head coach, signed a 5-year deal with the Jets. Once you sign a 5-year deal, you're kind of the guy. You're kind of the guy. Like once you see a coach sign a 3-year deal, like, all right, we're not really too sure on you, dog. When you get that 5, you already know what's up. So thoughts about that?
The one thing I texted this on the side. You got the offer there. He's a Hess jet.
Yeah.
He's not a Woody Johnson jet.
No, he's not.
And that just goes a different era that he was there when it was good.
He was there with the up years. Yep.
He was there when it was a home team. It was a family-based team. He was there.
He was there at the AFC Championship.
He was there at the AFC Championship.
1998.
He was a part of the defense that got them places. And
yeah.
So he understands what it feels like to be playing for the tuna. Like that shit, like you don't like shit like that. A guy came from these type of coaches, this level of coach.
Right.
He had Bill Parcells as his coach
for
12 hours. He's part of that team. So, and then we've seen what he's done over there in Detroit, and the defense that they built over there that really got them to where they were. I mean, listen, I'm happy. I think we did it right. The other pieces to the puzzle, we got to figure that shit out because it's a lot. But
yeah. I mean, listen, this is a good start because you're getting a guy who's a leader of men. You're getting a guy who's well respected. You're getting a guy that got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a guy that you can tell that the Lions players respected this dude, and he can command a room. That's what I think that Robert Saleh never had, the ability to command a room. And when you got a guy that like Aaron Glenn that can be able to do that, it gives you kind of Dan Campbell vibes. Like Dan Campbell back home to Detroit, right? So he played. Now the Jets have that type of familiarity, which is really good. Waiting on to see who they're going to sign as their GM. Obviously, hires a GM. OC. We're going to see what the staff looks like. But Aaron Rodgers is waiting for the GM to get hired for them to make a decision. So Aaron Glenn has already said that he wants Aaron Rodgers back, as he should. Now, what do you think should be the outcome? Should they retain Aaron Rodgers or get somebody else?
I feel like keeping Aaron Rodgers is a smart. Try to keep this unit together the best you can. I mean, listen, like offensively, the unit is more astute than it's ever been.
Correct.
Even towards the end of the season, as bad as it was, the offensive line actually picked up. Aaron Rodgers felt more comfortable moving around. Granted, he's 41. You know what I mean? He's not going to be a spring chicken out there. But, he is – there's no better bridge for another quarterback to come up. I don't suggest going quarterback unless something really falls in your lap at 7.
Right.
Don't go. But if you can get in position, you can actually – have that transition ready. If he knows the role that he has to play, I think that's the better move. I mean, realistically, the thing that really lost this game this year was the defense. Defense wasn't addressed. I've had conversations with some of the homies. Black talked to Dre Hove. They were saying that the team quit. The team quit once the Saleh was gone. It's like, wait, what? And they ran out of there. It was over. You can see it in the play. You can see it. The one game you could really see it was the Russell Wilson game. Some of those passes that were just like lollipops over the top, that a little bit more effort could have broken up, and guys were just getting beat once they got past the the front 7. So I just feel like building that up is going to be the better move. And we're in a good space. We're in a good space.
Yeah, I think the best course of action is for them to retain Aaron Rodgers because you don't want to set Aaron Glenn up for a bad season by scrapping the team and giving him nothing to work with. And then everybody's like, well, I thought Aaron Glenn was supposed to save this team. Like, if you don't give him nothing to fucking work with, what is he going to do? He's going to end up having a bad season, and then you're going to want to can him. Like, nah, we're not doing that. And we're not doing that to another black coach. We're not doing that. So we got to make sure that we give him all the resources that he needs to be able to succeed so he can be able to continue to build a good program and have the time to do so, because Woody Johnson needs to back the hell off, step away, Go play games with Brick, and don't worry about the damn team. What?
His name is Woody Johnson.
Yeah, right. And his son's name is Brick.
Pause.
Like, hey, yo.
Like, literally. Though,
Seriously.
like, it got to be purposely.
It has to be.
There's another one, right? What's it?
I don't know. He might have, I think he got a normal name.
Like Stiff or something like that? It's crazy, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yo,
man.
like, who do you think, GM-wise, is the fit?
I can't even tell you, honestly. I don't know what I would be silly if I knew what the candidates were. I said that I wanted Louis Riddick. That's
Right.
what
I don't even see him.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, that's literally a DEI a hire or interview right there. You know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to fill their quota. And they made sure they got that shit out of the way early. Now, I'm not even saying that the Jets don't have good practices. They hire black coaches, but I just don't think that he was a serious candidate for them because I hear that they're trying to get the is that guy from
Commanders?
Is it Commanders?
He has a report.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, if it works, I'm all for it. Like I'm never gonna have an opinion about a general manager until they actually get the job and do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know that like Isdick was the worst GM ever until he got to the job, right?
No, we knew it.
I mean, we kind of had a feeling, but then it was verified once he started work. But yeah, so it's more of a wait and see type of thing. I hope that they get that done sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? So moving on. Let's talk about championship weekend, please. AFC, NFC championship games. We have two interesting games going on this weekend. We have the Chiefs against the Bills. We have the Commanders versus the Eagles. Claw, just on the face of it, who you got without any detailed explanation?
Bills.
Okay, so you got the Bills beating the Chiefs. Yep. What about the NFC?
Commanders.
Okay, so you're going Bills Commanders Super Bowl. That's interesting. So let's go ahead and kind of break this down a little bit. Let's just start with the AFC championship game. We have, these two teams have met before. This is one of those games where you look at Josh Allen and you say, is it your time? Is it time for you to be able to exercise those demons that you never could be able to do before, right? Here's my issue with picking the Bills. And I like the team, but you're in Arrowhead, so you're on the road. What's the spread? So the spread went from -1.5 to now it's -2. So it's literally a pick'em game at this point, right? But there's so much riding on this game for Josh Allen. There's no pressure on the Chiefs. Like, everybody wants to talk about, the three-peat. There's no pressure on them. They have the comfortability. They know exactly what they're trying to do. They know where to go. It's Josh Allen's time to have to prove that he can beat Patrick Mahomes, beat the Chiefs, and get to the Super Bowl and get over that hump, right? The margin of error for this team is so razor thin that he has to play a perfect game. If you notice this season, they've taken a lot of the passing responsibilities out of his hands. They run the ball a lot more this season, which is a good formula for success. We don't want on the ball 45 times, right? You want to keep them, low 20s, mid 20s. If it's a shootout, then it gets there, but you want to make sure that you try to keep this game within some type of structural balance. The margin of error, like I said, is very, very razor thin for the Bills. And they also have to factor in that even if you are perfect, you're still dealing with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, right? And on top of that, people don't like to talk about it, but you got to talk about the refs. You also got to talk about those tic-tac fouls within the last 5-6 minutes of the game that ends up always going the Chiefs' way. I don't want to be that guy, but we see it all the time. Tom Brady talked about it the other day. It's just like, they went completely the other way in regards to how they referee the game. It's too offensive. where you're not giving the defensive players any type of leeway to be able to have any type of, positioning or advantage. It's all offense. It should be like that.
But I've seen Bill Belichick on a stream, or I think Monday Night Football game with the Mannings, and he was saying that like it was one of these plays. It was like, nah, it's an offensive league. You're gonna get that call every
100%.
time. They're gonna do whatever's gonna make the play better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or make the next play better.
Like you already know that roughing the passer is going to be a big thing in that game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
But it would have to be a two-way, and that's the thing. Like Josh Allen is more a physical quarterback.
Yeah.
He'll take more hits because he puts himself in more scenarios.
Right. So he's not going to get that call more than Mahomes will get that call.
Correct. But then I think the real determining factor in this game is going to be tempers flaring. And if the tempers flare, then it's not going to be in favor of the Bills. But I have a feeling that the Bills will beat it because of the fact that I think Mahomes will get exposed.
Well, I think that Milano has to figure out a way to get to him. If they can put pressure on Mahomes and make him uncomfortable, that's the way to beat them. You can't let Mahomes just sit there and dance in the pocket for 10 seconds and then do his little dainty run that he does and gets a first down. He does that shit every game. You got to figure out a way to kind of, minimize his impact. It's easier said than done because he's a great quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame guy, whatever it is. But the Bills, I feel that they can be able to win this game. If I gun to my head, if I'm going to pick one, I say that Josh Allen gets over the hump. I say Josh Allen gets over the hump, Bills win. So moving on to the NFC title game. Commanders, Eagles. Eagles are at home. The spread is -6. It was 6.5. They go to -6 now. Listen, Commanders, respect to them for getting here.
Cinderella
story, but I think this is where it stops. I just think that the Eagles defense is going to be too much for the actual Commanders to actually withstand. Jalen Hurts is not a great quarterback, but they understand how to utilize him effectively. Saquon Barkley was very, very heavily used in that last game. I don't know if they're going to go ahead and do that this game. They might mix it up, but Saquon is hot right now. And if the Commanders can be able to contain him, they might have a shot. But then you have the other weapons on the Eagles as well. So defensively, it leans Eagles. Offensively, it leans Eagles. Coaching, you probably got to give it to the Eagles because, both coaches are, they've been to the Super Bowl. But, I'm not a big fan of Sirianni, but I've seen him in these games a lot more. So I trust the Eagles.
I'm going to say, as much as the Eagles are the safer bet, they almost lost. They would have lost last week. Matt Stafford definitely took those bruised ribs or cracked ribs or whatever happened to him. They almost got picked apart. But granted, it's the thing that sets them aside is all they were missing was a solid ass run game, and they have a solid ass run game. So it's a hard thing, but I feel like they're gonna get Jalen Hurts is hurt.
Yeah, he is banged up. He's been banged up for a while.
Banged up. And it's showing. Like when somebody's in the interview and they're showing you that it's that time. And
but they do. But like I said, they know how to utilize it though. But if there is a team that might be able to catch lightning in the bottle and expose you and be able to do some miracle on fucking 34th Street shit, it's the Commanders.
And the command and Jaden Daniels,
he's tough.
He's showing that he's been here before.
Better than that.
Way better than that. Better than a lot of people.
Better than that.
So he's showing that he can win games and having that confidence on offense, and it shows. And the one thing I'm happy to see is that like Teddy McLaurin is like, you just needed a quarterback.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like then you got a guy like Zach Ertz. Then you have Eckler.
Right.
You got pieces around there. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
This could be.
Nah, this could be their chain. Listen, I just think that they're very early. Obviously, like sure. This is very, very early in the process. But I told you a couple of years ago, I said once Magic Johnson bought this team, give him 2 years because everything that he turns into fucking gold. And look where they're at. Yeah, look where they're at. They're already better than the Cowboys. Right. Shouts to Cowboys fan. They put in the chat. Barry, hate to derail you, but can I come be a Jets fan? Yo, Cowboys fan, listen, segue in. I guess we just go there. Brian Schottenheimer is the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wasn't he?
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's Schotty.
Schotty from the Jets. Who would you think I was talking about?
I'm because he has a brother.
Yeah, no, it's Brian Schottenheimer.
Holy shit. Mark Sanchez, coach. Oh, man.
I
got something else I want to pull back from an old movie.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't understand this hire at all. You went from interviewing Deion Sanders to having that be a thing, but we all knew that was bullshit. We all know that Jerry Jones was just trying to get his fan base back into love with him because of the disaster season that he had, right? He does this all the time. But then Kellen Moore was also being, talked about. That would have been a disaster. Then you had all these other guys like Brian Schottenheimer. Listen, I'm so glad that I can be able to watch from a distance now because I'm finally away from Dak Prescott. I'm finally away from that disaster. I will watch them. I'm going to commentate. I'm going to go ahead and take this thing forward, but I can't support that because there's no way that this is going to work long term. Jerry Jones always gets somebody that he can be able to control. Nobody was going to hire Brian Schottenheimer as a head coach except Jerry Jones. Why? Because he can be able to still be the first guy the fucking team interviews after they lose or win. They don't even talk to the coach first. They talk to Jerry. Jerry, what do you think? What do we care what you think? You ever notice what? I see the picture today. I seen a meme. This shit's crazy. Jerry Jones looks like Yoda.
Yeah.
Wild. He's just not as smart as Yoda.
Good game it is.
Good game it is.
Football, do you?
But yo, it's just I just don't get it, man. Do you think that he can be able to have some success?
Hey, listen. The fact
He's a Jet. He's a Jet.
Yo, listen,
so
the fact that you're back, right? I can approach this at a different angle. I don't know why the fuck you went over there in the first place. It wasn't for you.
I told I told you that I've always been a dual fan, Chloe. I've been a dual fan since I was a kid. I used to watch the Jets on CBS and then watch the Cowboys on Fox.
That's great, right? A lot of people did. Okay. But sometimes you go to certain clubs and realize the ratio is a little off. Right. And then you see like they're playing the village people, and you're like, all right, cool, that's great.
Hey, our president likes that song.
Hey, shouts to him, right? But when the shirts came off, you stayed. You stayed there. And you was like, you know what? Yeah. Macho man. Yeah, guys. And that was and you found home there. Hold on. Let me finish this.
I gotta
get my shit off. And then it took a little while, and I'm like, you know what? Aaron Rodgers here. He had a mustache, and you were like mustaches. And you were like, you know what? I'm gonna do it because then they're gonna look at me different over here. All the guys doing the village people dances are gonna look at me and say, no, man, you're one of us. So they can put their arm around you and shit like that. But it took me to be like, yo, bro, just get out the fire, cool yourself off, come back home, bro. It's all right. We won't judge you.
So you want to take credit for me returning back to the Jets?
That's
No, you're not going to take credit for that. The thing is, you know what really happened is that you were upset for a while.
What?
And I left. You were mad. A lot of people were mad. How could you go there? I didn't care because I saw potential.
You were living your truth.
I was living my truth.
It's Dallas Buyers Club.
Yes. Living my truth, right? I couldn't help it. I had to go to Dallas. I was sick and tired of what was going on with the Jets. A man's man. Listen, I laid it out. I said, if Geno Smith got drafted, I'm out. And I said it again this year. I said, if they go ahead and hire anybody outside of Deion Sanders, I'm out. I'm out.
If I could leak the footage of when you had a broken leg and you had the draft.
Oh, and Van Der Esch got drafted instead of TJ Watt?
Yeah, if I could leak that, that'd be great. Let me know.
Horrible.
But yeah, I just listen. It didn't work.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I'm
But-
happy for you.
I might be off the train soon though if they get rid of Aaron Rodgers.
Relax yourself. Mike McCarthy as the OC
For who?
for Jets.
Absolutely not. I just got out of that nightmare.
Listen,
Why would I want to co-sign on that?
Just ask you for a friend, bro.
No,
Okay, cool.
I don't want that.
All right, cool.
Go get somebody else. Go get somebody from college. I don't care who it is. Just don't have no retread ass coaches. We don't want those. Aaron Glenn's a new hire. Get some new people in there. Yeah, get some new people in there. You know who I would like is DC though.
Who?
Brian Flores.
Yo, if we can get Brian Flores,
That'd be fire. That'd be fun. But yeah, like I said, I don't understand. Now, there's a relationship between Schotty and Dak. Dak actually wanted to hire, but is he a smart quarterback? We seen the fact that the football IQ is not so high. So him saying, "Yeah, I want Brian. Go ahead, take him." And then when the team falls apart, they're gonna blame you. And I can't wait till the fans start to say, "We want him gone." I've been telling people for years, Dak is average. And there's a reason why the Detroit Lions are not in the NFC Championship right now is because Jared Goff is also average. And when you have average quarterbacks, you're going to have great games and you're going to have those stinker games. But you just don't know when those stinker games are going to come. And sadly for the Lions and the Cowboys, those stinker games come to play. Yes.
for all the Gen Z younger audience, average means mid.
Yes, mid. Good clarification.
Trying to be hip.
But yeah, it's just, so that's the Cowboys. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the direction is. I have nothing. I got to see how this plays out, but we know that they're not gonna be big players in free agency. We know that all they do is put all their resources into the draft. Who are they going to draft? Are they going to draft another wide receiver to help Steve them? Or are you going to go draft a running back? They need a running back. That kid Genty from Boise State. Like, who are they going to get? Who is Schotty a leader?
A running back the first round.
Yeah, that kid is special. Special.
Boise.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is one of the biggest circuses I've ever seen. I don't really understand this.
And guess what? It ain't gonna know better because your GM is the guy.
Is Yoda. The one that bought the team and he's buying the groceries.
Fact.
No.
And he found the oil in the backyard.
Yeah.
And still talking about that oil today.
And he's a gaslighter and a liar. Facts. Yeah. So moving on. How do you feel, sir, about Pete Carroll returning to the sidelines? Pete Carroll is back in coaching with the Vegas Raiders.
If I can tell you, well, you already know this about me, that I'm Pete Carroll.
You're a Monarch guy.
Yeah, I'm a Monarch guy, and the Monarchs are going to come out. The Pete Carroll Monarchs would be so badass.
He is 73 years old,
but bro, he could. Yo, remember he had that footage of playing quarterback?
Yeah, he was playing
cooking, bro.
How many years do you think he can coach?
What does it matter?
I'm asking.
Yo, he's gonna change the program around.
How many years do you think that he can coach?
4 years max.
So you think he can coach until he's 77?
He can go to 77. 77 he has the greatest assistant coach that.
Well, he's always been a guy that picks a good
But I feel like his job doesn't even need it today. It can be go till 77, but really just go to 75 and be lit because it changes the culture around. That's all that matters.
Well, yeah, right. If he's the one that can kind of steer it in the right direction, just like how we kind of did with Seattle, we went to the step down, right, and then went into the front office.
Yeah, and it worked. So I feel like that type of role is going to be the same. It's going to be a face, and then we phase out the face. We get the young face out there, but it's still the same organization for the most part.
Yeah, I like the fit. I like the fact that he's back on that side of the country because obviously, he was at USC. It's kind of familiar to him over there. Raiders desperately need him.
That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, they need an adult in the room to be able to kind of like lock shit up. Be like, listen, I got it.
It's going to make them watchable. They haven't been watchable.
They haven't been watching.
Outside of Brock Bowers, like if they land Sam Darnold, that's a team to really watch.
That's
on top of their draft picks.
That's a good segue. So I don't know if you know this.
I don't.
But Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll have been keeping in very close contact over the years. There's no strife or beef between them. So, Russell Wilson returns to partner up again with Pete Carroll in Vegas.
If it makes sense. I mean, are they out? Are they out on Russell here and Steelers?
I think they might be.
So then they're keeping Fields, or they're gonna go new?
I think Fields is a free agent too. I think that they might just fuck around and draft a
The
quarterback.
rumors are saying that they Fields to the Jets. That's what the rumor is.
That'd be terrible.
That'd
That'd be bad. But thoughts on
JJ? Oh, not JJ. What was his name?
JJ McCarthy?
McCarthy, correct.
Yeah. Thoughts on Russell Wilson possibly reuniting with Carroll?
If it makes sense. I mean, if then at that point, Russell Wilson just the king of 1 year deals.
At this point of his career, that's what it's going to
Yeah,
be.
just
Like
move on.
until he finds a situation that he can be able to maybe be a QB1 and then kind of transitions into a veteran role. But nobody's really looking at Russell as
And that's
their franchise guy anymore. He's going to be a bridge quarterback possibly for the rest of his career.
what I would say though. Why I can see it happening is the fact that
There's a trust factor there.
there's a trust factor, but also too it puts him in the opportunity to play the Broncos twice a year. And I think that still stings with him, like that Broncos situation. How they
I mean, he getting paid. He don't get shit.
do, but if you play for something, you play for, you know what I mean? The come over those underachieving moments or those situations where you got slighted.
You think so? I don't
It
look
was
at
nasty
him.
work how they did him.
I
'Cause
don't
he
look
took
at him
them
as a
6
guy
games
like
straight.
that though.
I'm just saying, as a player's edge, you're gonna have that edge. Somebody that's slighted you, like mama mentality, like you're gonna have. It's natural.
I don't know if he has that though.
Oh, then he might not. Then Ciara has it.
She has it. He doesn't.
And Future's kid has it.
Facts. Damn, that's crazy.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Wow, that was nasty work. But I'll condone it on
That's
live. I think that obviously time heals all wounds, right? I don't think that there was any beef between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. I just think that there was a generational gap and a misunderstanding of what Russell wanted, what Pete wanted from Russ, and what Russ thought that he was like entitled to. He wanted to be the guy, and Pete Carroll was like, nah, I like to run the ball a lot. And I just think that you can be able to just be who you've been, because I think Pete Carroll knew Russell more than Russell. Like, bro, I know that you're a mistake guy and you're kind of an off-script guy. I need to be able to figure out how to corral you and not have you throw the ball 50 times, because that's not a recipe for success. And I think we've seen that since the decline of that partnership. He hasn't been a great quarterback since then. This year was not so bad. I mean, they started off hot. They were like, what, 10-3? And then the fucking wheels fell off the bus, right? So he has a lot to prove. And I think that partnering with a Pete Carroll can kind of help him regain some of that confidence that he might have lost.
But in the same breath too, right? If we got to think about what Pete Carroll also has done, is he had to lose in the boom.
Right.
Like he had that. So realistically, I feel like building up the defense over there is probably more important than curating this offense.
Well, you know, Pete Carroll's a defensive guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think the focal is the like with Crosby and whoever else
But you
is there.
still need a quarterback.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
do.
care how
You need it.
ironclad your defense
But
is.
I
You
feel like
still need a play caller.
They have a better opportunity to have a astute defense. If they bring in a Russ, then that's great. You just need a game manager, someone that has good rapport. They don't have any weapons though.
They do. Brock Bowers.
Yes, they have one weapon. Correct.
That's all you need.
Nothing on the outside. But I'm
That's
saying
all
like,
you
nothing on the
need.
outside. Like they don't have. They used to have safe flower. They don't have a lot of Hunter Renfro fell off years
Well,
ago.
Jacoby Myers is good.
Okay.
He's a good quarterback. They have some pieces. They do have the draft picks to be able to go ahead and go get some guys, and they probably have some
They got who they get
free
for,
agency flexibility.
Who they got for what's name for Devontae? They got a 3, right?
I think they got a 3, yeah. So, and also too, don't be surprised if T. Higgins ends up getting there.
For a situation like that,
T. Higgins is available, so T. Higgins is going to be the top candidate for a lot of teams that are looking for a number one receiver.
Diggs too. Stephon Diggs is I heard
Diggs a free agent.
so.
So there you go. So there's going to be a
They were
lot
saying
of different
Diggs Giants, but I
different
can see
options.
Diggs out there,
Diggs for the Giants ain't bad.
but we'll see.
Depends on the quarterback.
Should do a what?
Should do a what? So yeah, Pete to the Raiders. I like it. We'll see what happens with Russ. Going back to the Lions, obviously Ben Johnson, he got hired for the Chicago Bears. I think that's a great fit for him. He's putting together a very good staff. I just need to stop eating. All right, too much noise.
Just close.
Just leave it alone.
Just moving it.
I like the fit. I think Ben Johnson is going to be able to help Caleb Williams progress. I like the staff that he's putting together, and I think Ben Johnson is that new young coordinator that possibly can be able to transition into a good head coach. We have to see it. The talent is there, but can he be able to coach an entire football team and lead that? We'll see. But all the stuff is in place. So my question for you is: the Lions have a brand new. They the offensive coordinator is gone, their defensive coordinator is gone. Aaron Glenn is now the head coach in the Jets. Ben Johnson is the coach of the Bears. What coach do you feel is going to be more successful next season?
Yeah, young. That's a fucking slippery slope. Of course, I'm gonna say the Jets, but
It's fine.
It can't because there was pieces like provided they keep everybody on offense over in Chicago.
All right.
They had on paper they were all fire. Them and like Atlanta were like had on paper ran it, but that Bears D isn't what it used to be, right? That Bears D is not it. So offensively, they could be something. I think the Jets will have a better opportunity. I've seen the schedule. It's not that crazy from my understanding, what I've seen, but I also feel like if the defense
Schedule, they ain't released the damn schedule yet.
I saw like a picture of like 2024 opponents.
Okay.
But yeah, so opponent list. And when you look at it, it's like the Jets can do it if the defense is really A, coached better, and B, they keep the right pieces. They keep what they have on offense and maybe add one or two as far as like a tight end, somebody that's actually like worth something. I think the Jets will probably be.
I think you have to look at it in regards to we're talking about constructed now. So clearly Aaron Rodgers is still on the Jets. So if we're talking about roster for roster right now, not any decisions being made, I think Aaron Glenn can be able to have a lot more success than Ben Johnson. I'm not saying that it's going to be 12 games to 7. It's going to be more. I think the Jets have an ability or a chance to win anywhere between 9 and 10 games next season. And I think the Bears can be able to have a chance to be somewhere close to a winning record, because they showed flashes this year, but Caleb Williams was inconsistent. Coaching staff was inconsistent. The defense was inconsistent. There was a lot of inconsistencies on that team. I think Ben Johnson is going to be able to help Caleb be able to steer the ship, get more consistent, and figure out a competent offense that's going to be able to help them succeed. So all of those particular pluses are going to be able to help them be a lot better going forward. So I think both teams are going to be much improved. But if you have to give somebody the edge, obviously you have to give it to the Jets. So I agree with you. But listen, I love both hires, man. I think they're great. I really do.
Both those hires is like, what does that mean for Detroit?
Yeah.
Is Detroit going to fall off to the wayside and they had like 3 years to get it done and they couldn't?
Yeah.
Or is it, the next man up?
I think Detroit's finished.
I think they're
going to take a step back next year.
I think it's going to time not blow it up, but they've had 3 runs and then they lost these assets that they had. I don't think they'll be able to facilitate.
Yeah,
unless there's a next guy up. The system was that good, and whoever's coming up is great, but I don't see it.
Right.
That division is getting harder, and you had to strike while the iron's hot, and if you miss it, you miss it.
I mean, think about it. I mean, that's the North.
The whole North.
And Johnson is now coaching against you
in
in the North.
but the Green Bay is only going to get better. Green Bay is not,
and so are the Vikings.
Well, yeah. Regardless of what they
Bro,
do,
the Vikings won 14 games this year. So no matter how they finish the season, they still have a lot of good pieces in place. So I do think that
they're
Lions,
keeping their staff. It looks.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to take a step back. So naturally, and at some point they're going to have to move on.
Yeah.
Sean McVay saw the writing on the wall with Goff, got rid of him, won a Super Bowl with Stafford, and we'll see. So moving on. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a fucking mess. Have you been following the timeline of events?
Absolutely not.
All right. So
Purposely.
This whole coaching saga that they have now, they're very close to hiring their coach. They are very close to hiring Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator, from the Bucks, I believe. So here's the timeline of events. And shouts to Bryson for putting this out for me.
Bryson's good.
So Jags fire head coach Doug Peterson, but controversially keep GM Trent Baalke, right? They kept the GM after firing Doug Peterson. Then they interviewed multiple candidates, including Bucks OC Liam Cohen. Reports surfaced that coaching candidates are turned off by Baalke, to which owner Shad Khan, is the owner of the Jags, replies that firing the GM would be suicidal. Do it, right? Then guess what Shad Khan does? Fires Baalke 2 weeks later, right? Fires him. After that, you got Liam Cohen turns down the Jags job. The Bucks reportedly offer him a record contract to stay in Tampa. After the Baalke firing, Cohen goes back to Jacksonville with the intention to become the Jags head coach and ghosts Todd Bowles and the Bucks. They can't get him on the phone. Now they interviewed Robert Saleh before he got the job. It's DC, but now Liam Cohen they're in advanced talks, and it looks like he's going to be the head coach at some point.
It's snowing out there.
What a shit show!
It's snowing out
there. Like, who the hell? Why would anybody have any type of confidence in the Jacksonville Jaguars? They are a disaster.
They will be the first NFL Europe team
to go to Mexico
or Zimbabwe or wherever the hell.
London?
Yeah, somewhere else.
They already play all the games in London anyway. They might as well convert.
It's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Munich Jaguars?
Exactly. The Birmingham.
So it's crazy. Like, it's just the level of dysfunction in that franchise starts with obviously the owner, but it also goes down to the owner's idiot son, Tony Khan, which is also the CEO of AEW.
Which shit.
Yeah.
What was that team? Oh, the Monarchs.
Monarchs.
Remember that team we had?
Fire. we gotta get that back. We gotta get that back.
Yeah, but they're gonna be the Monarchs because there's nothing in Jacksonville at all. Nice weather, nice stadium. Other than that, the team is shit.
I agree.
Do they have a quarterback though?
Fucking what's his name?
Bogus?
Yeah, BoJack Horseman.
Yeah,
he's still there. Rubbish. They have a lot of decisions to make over there, but if Liam Coleman's going to be the guy, then we'll see what he can do. Saleh, back to the 49ers. Thoughts?
Good.
Facts. It's just like Josh McDaniels running right back to the Pats.
You got to go.
We know how good you are there.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, you ain't good.
It's like being in a relationship. Try to test the water. Shit.
Right. I can't do this.
Yeah, I can't. I don't Twitter. I don't. I don't swipe right. I don't have to do
fact, I don't know what it is. Do we eat first? Do I have no idea. Just very awkward out there.
It's a different game.
Yeah, it is.
So at that point, let's go back and just shut up.
Yeah,
you tried.
He did try.
He did
try.
But I think it's good. I think it's a good fit. That team requires that type of energy on defense.
Yeah, he has.
Defensively, they weren't who they used to be.
Defensively, he can be able to motivate his guys because obviously he's not speaking to the entire room. It's just a defensive room. And you can be as zany, as quirky, or don't really he feels like a jock anyway, so he can kind of relate to those defensive players. But as a head coach, he just did not relate.
He didn't translate to the offensive side of the game. He sat there, he lost a lot of games not knowing
what to do.
Exactly.
But also too being handcuffed by an idiot owner.
That part. I'll wait for the 30 for 30 to come out.
Yeah,
tell the truth.
To know that Brick was the one that was behind the scenes.
What's his last name?
Johnson.
Exactly.
Hey, yo, what the
Press both of them. See that?
That was good.
That was really good. Yeah, see that? Multitasking live. Okay. That's what we do. But listen, I don't have a reaction to it. I think it's go back and have your success. You can be able to kind of repair your image, because that's normally what happens when you become a DC or an OC. You're able to kind of like retool your value again, right? If you play well, if the team is successful, if you look like you're a candidate, a strong candidate, you'll get another opportunity.
It's true.
Look at Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn went to the Cowboys after being a disaster in Atlanta, revamped his whole value, and then now he's on the Commanders doing good stuff.
I have a question on this topic. We don't do lunch anymore?
Absolutely not.
So we go straight this whole time?
We're live, baby. Okay, so if you want to take a break, you go ahead and you go take your break. All right. I'm Ric Flair. I'm Iron Man here, baby. Okay. Listen, this is the first show.
Listen, we're gonna have to figure this out.
So we'll figure it out going forward. We just gotta go
2:15 break. It's standard.
Not for you. Okay.
Like,
not for you.
It's in my deal.
No. Moving on. Moving on. We can actually go to the irrelevant news of the week.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the steak?
Every week we go ahead and we talk about these different stories. Let's see what I have here. What do we have? Did you hear about Donald Trump getting rid of DEI? How do you feel about that?
That's trash. But I need to know why.
What do you mean why?
Why?
Come on.
Why would you do it?
It's pandering.
Yeah.
So for his base that thinks, hey, DEI is stupid. You should be hired on your qualifications. When you're still being hired on your qualifications is just giving more, a wider spectrum to the candidates. But they don't want to hear that. They hear another race getting something and they immediately go crazy. So Trump is just like, all right, here's a layup.
I don't get it. It doesn't make no sense. It is.
But
I'm only asking, like, what's the point for like taking away from that to do what? If you were going to take if it led to something, you were going to put the money elsewhere, then cool, but it doesn't make sense.
It's going to pocket the money.
No, that one right on brand.
It's going to pocket the money. So
like congestion pricing.
Yeah, exactly. California high school brothers drop historic stat lines in the same game. So I don't know who the hell they were playing. But this dude here had 102 points, shot 46 from 60 from the field, and his brother had no points, 35 assists, and 13 steals. Who are you playing? There's no level of competition that's that bad that's going to allow you to score 100 points. Where we're from, once you get to 40, elbow soft line. There's no way you're going to eclipse 50, 60, 70, and 100. That's nasty work.
Did it get PED tested?
No. But I'm showing you was playing lesser competition. Who's gonna allow you to score 100 points in a game? And take 60. I'm fighting you. I'm gonna be that guy.
In this era, everybody gets the trophies, so realistically, you can't fight.
I'm gonna hit the person with the trophy.
That take.
It is. Hey, you're not gonna score 100 points on me.
And the kid's gonna say I was fearing for my life.
That's fine. Just know that every time you think about basketball going forward, you're gonna see me. That's it. 100 point. Nah, bro. Dude. Oh, did y'all hear? Crazy. This is irrelevant news. Did you know that you can't get your driver's license results or your road test results right away anymore?
The waiting, like when do you find out?
You have to wait like after the test is done, after the road test, they send you the results like later in the day. So there's this buildup of anticipation and suspense of if you passed or failed. The reason why they did that is because people started beating up the instructors. Like, what type of shit are we on now?
Yeah.
Like, there's a thing about failing and then going back and retaking your road test. 9 times out of 10, people fail the first time and then they pass the second time. But if you're in that special category of people that keep failing, there's the MTA. You don't need to be fucking driving, and you're gonna get mad at me because you can't drive.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would if I was an instructor. Well, I'm not letting you out of this car until you pass me. Okay, lock the door. Because by the time they get to you, you'll be gone. You'll be gone.
I feel like those instructors would be like well vetted, hard jiu-jitsu.
That's what I'm saying. Put the belt around your head.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. You know what it is? I don't know.
That's nuts, bro. What like it's never
Everybody's
been
so-
up like that, dude.
Shit is so, like, have you ever watched the GTA like odds and like this?
I don't watch it.
Bro, like, you know who does one?
Mm.
Tay-Rock,
Really?
battle rapper,
Wow.
and it is amusing as hell. But the shit that they go through in this shit is completely like. I saw that on the news. It's right on brand for people. So it's a shit show. Everybody's living a fucking mod right now.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I when I heard that, I was just like, yo, what? So you can't get your results right away? You gotta take the road test. First of all, you're nervous as hell taking the road test anyway, right? And then you got the instructor over there with the goddamn clipboard. So after the test, you have to wait again whole day?
No, that's crazy.
Everybody build them up. Right.
He
Right.
failed. He failed. Something.
Yeah, you fucking crash.
That's terrible. Terrible.
You drove backwards the whole
So
time.
we'll wait until 7 p.m. to send it. Don't send it now.
What time do you punch out? 6. Okay, I'm sorry.
This is okay, son. Like it's like, yo, that's crazy. We gotta stop. We gotta be better.
I was gonna say like, aren't like majority of people taking road tests like underage? So like you got like kids
Wearing up on the instructor, yeah.
yeah.
That's wild.
But that's right on brand. It's the NBA YoungBoy era where it's like everybody just throws knuckles everywhere and just makes
It's crazy, bro.
full arm swings.
This is why I don't like Gen Z. I don't like y'all. I hate them. Moving on. Do I have any more irrelevant news?
I didn't even fight him on that. How y'all didn't fight him? He's a boomer or something like that.
I'm not. Don't do that.
Come
Don't
on,
do
get
that.
at him.
Don't do that.
Gen Z
Nope.
is hard to defend a lot.
There you go. See?
Man.
There you go.
It is.
He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed by his own culture. He's not like them. These two right here, these young people, they're different. They're not like the other ones. They're not.
I was talking to one of them
Yeah.
recently, right? And we were talking about the year. He's like, yeah, so yeah, it happened back in like 21. And I'm like, wait. You guys refer to it as 21? Like we would say 2021.
Yeah, that's the way you're supposed to say it.
Yeah, but they say 21 because they never lived anything else but these 20 years, which is crazy. It was a shell shock. And I'm like, y'all don't know the world.
They don't know a 19.
They don't know a 19.
That's crazy.
Well, it hits you. It's like,
Yo, think about it, bro. There's people that are 24 years old that were born in the 2000s.
yeah.
Like,
I
that's
don't know.
wild.
Maybe, yeah. Like,
That's wild. That's like your entire life. you know nothing but like next world shit. Like,
They missed.
you don't know
they
what
missed
a
9/11.
you don't know what a grainy TV look like.
They missed 9/11. They
You don't know what the
they don't
long
know.
antennas out the phone look like,
Call them Homeland Security.
dude.
It's a whole nother world.
And then you got some Gen Z people out there that want to talk to you about sports. What do you know? You were born in 05. Nothing you know makes sense. That ain't real sports. You don't know no Jordan, Magic Johnson. You don't know these people. LeBron, Wade, Paul George.
You don't even know Iverson.
Yeah, you can't do it. You got on the tail end. Yeah,
Barely no Melo.
nasty. Nah, you know Melo.
I gotta say it.
It's nasty. So yeah, that is my irrelevant news.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch that? I mean, yeah, they stink.
Now, what's going on with Miami Heat? Why are they treating Jimmy Butler this way? The man got suspended for 7 games. He came back and then they suspended him again. What's going on with that?
I don't know.
Now, I saw Shaq and Chuck. They got into an argument. Talking about Shaq was like, "Oh well, if you don't think that the team is good, that you can be able to take." Nah, that we ain't talking about no tanking nothing. You need to show up to work, be professional. So there's one thing about Jimmy. If he's doing wild shit to get traded, that looks nasty. But if he's already said to you, "I'd like to go. There is no repairing this. I'd like to get traded." What's the sense of continuing to stoke the fire, stoke the flame? Like, send him out. The fuck are you suspending him for? The man missed the team plane, right? Okay, but now you're going to be, well, it's conduct detrimental. You know, he just didn't lose that missed plane. It happens. Come on now.
It's snowing in Florida, bro.
Facts. That's all over the damn place now. He was late. I don't understand what's going on with the Heat. They, Pat Riley, he reminds me of Bill Belichick. It's the Pat Riley way. He had issues with LeBron. LeBron left. He had contract issues with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne ended up in Chicago. Now it's Jimmy. And it's like, bro, Jimmy got you to a couple of finals appearances. Y'all didn't win, but where were you before Jimmy got there? You were a team that was kind of floundering. So if he's asking for an extension, I understand that you probably don't want to give it to him, but I think that this relationship should have definitely been a little bit more amicable, right? Like, don't do this. Like, this is a bad way to end and sever ties. The good player, the Heat are, it's a good organization, but I want to see them sever. But the fact that they suspended him, I don't like it. It's nasty work. I don't like that. Where I think Jimmy should go, obviously the Suns are a team. The Milwaukee Bucks are looking for him. There's not many options for him. He said that he would go anywhere except Memphis. But is everybody? I don't know. I can't see a perfect fusion. I really can't.
I mean, and with the NBA, they do the 3-way trades, and I can't even see how.
Yeah, they're talking about that. This is going to be a complex trade if it does happen.
To happen. But if it depends on how much they want to burn them, they may just want to like, here, hold that. Like, and that's all it is.
Would you take him on a Nick?
Yeah, I would.
Well, who would you have? Hypothetically, who would you have to trade? You wouldn't trade Bridges and Robinson for Jimmy Butler?
I give up. We need bigs though. Knicks need bigs.
Knicks do need bigs.
So we don't need them. Nah, we don't need them. I would say I don't want to see him at the goddamn Celtics.
Nobody likes that.
I don't want to see that, but I could see that. Like
that's nasty. I don't want to see that.
Ain't on the fucking Pacers either. I wouldn't want to see him either. Or in Cleveland. Cleveland will probably fuck up the whole shit. Or I think he could be a fit in OKC.
Okay.
OKC.
OKC has the assets. They have the resources to be able to make a trade like that. I just don't see
You
Jimmy
kill the
fitting.
momentum though.
Yeah, they got a good thing going over there. Let the young kids run the asylum. They do anything over there. Plus Shea is the MVP, and I don't want anybody fucking up his momentum.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what Atlanta.
I don't want to say that.
The Hawks.
I don't want to say
I can see him on the Hawks. Him and Trae Young.
He can run the floor with them for sure.
Some veteran presence there. Yeah, there's for his contract, and then there has to be some type of discussion about extending him. That's the other issue too. Or if you're just trying to say, listen, we're just going to trade him and see how it happens and try to make this run.
I've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? There's always a move.
Yeah, I mean, I can see Golden State trading for Jimmy Butler to see if they can be able to make a run, one last run.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they about to blow that shit up too.
Poor Steph is stuck there.
Steph looks very, very upset nowadays.
He can't get out of that.
He can. I just think that he's going back and forth with himself. He's loyal. Like yo, I love this place, but do I really need to leave? He might.
Where would you like to see Steph?
Come on, son. Don't even ask.
But I respect that. I'd like to see him on San Antonio.
Yeah, that'd be a decent
I
fit.
like that.
But he needs to come to LA. Come to LA. Bro, AD. Love it. Yeah, I'd trade everybody for Steph. Everybody. Dalton Connect, Rui, Reeves, all of them. Get them all out. That'd be nasty, son. Him and JJ. Ooh, I like that. Anyway. Moving on. Ben Simmons. One of my favorite topics to talk about. Ben Simmons contemplated retirement, guys. Contemplated not returning to the NBA when he was having all of these issues and blah, blah, blah. Do you feel bad for him? Is it something that you are saying, man, I'm happy that he decided to keep going? Or do you want me to give my answer? He should have retired. He should have retired because he would have been able to, give the Nets a reprieve. They would have been able to get that money off of the books at some point. But he's been rubbish this year. I don't understand a guy that has this much potential and this much talent just doesn't really understand or has a mental block. Do I feel bad for him? Yeah, I do as an athlete, but it's just like, dude, like, it's either continue to play or retire. Like, what you're doing now is just like, get better somehow. Try. Shoot a jump shot. One. Take a couple, see how it feels. But you can't keep getting blocked by guys that are 5'9". You can't be under the basket at 6'10", 6'10 and a half and pass it out when you got an open layup. As a head coach, what you do with that? So, I'm amazed that he actually had the wherewithal to say, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going and see how this works. But also, too, I'm just like, dude, like, just give it up. You ain't that good. Give it up. Moving on the same bum-ass team, D'Lo, right? So D'Angelo Russell gets traded to the Nets, right? And they asked him a question that I think after the last game. They were like, how do you feel the difference between being in the system over there? And he's just like, I'll never take free basketball for granted again, where you can be able to play this open style and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, mad people hit me up, he throwing shade at LeBron, right? I'm like, no, I don't see it that way. I see it another way. I see it as a guy that enjoys having the freedom to do what he wants because there is no expectation. if you can be able to just play basketball without any system or rules or any type of structure, yeah, sure. Play, go shoot your 7 to 15 threes a game, do what you want to do. But in regards to being a contender and competing for a championship and having these things in place to be able to be a good team year in and year out, that's not a model that you want to follow. So for the Brooklyn Nets right now, it makes sense. The last time he was on the Brooklyn Nets, it was the same thing because there was no expectation. Once the expectation level started to rise, you got rid of him. Oh, yeah, you out. We want KD, we want Kyrie.
Bag of chips.
So that's my thing, is that there's a lot of players in this generation now that want to play this more open style, free basketball. Oh, I want to do my own thing. That's not the way hoops works. Everything is structure. You don't have to have plays ran every time down, every set or whatever it is, but you need to make sure that you have a structure in place. It's simple. That's how great teams win. San Antonio Spurs, Chicago Bulls, Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors. All of these teams had a structure in place and a template. So for these guys that are coming in here with low basketball IQ, their fundamentals are bad. Yes, they love the open system. Yes, they love free basketball because it's easy. It's easy to not have to think. So that's my issue. Moving on. Silent Assassin, I told you that your man wasn't coming back to Queens. I told you. What you guys say?
Yeah, not looking too good.
Have you come around to the conclusion that Pete might be gone?
Yeah, obviously, I guess from over the last week, it's definitely been, probably not happening.
Right.
Even prior, it was still negotiations.
Right.
But last I heard, allegedly, I heard from my brother that the doors pretty much closed on the Mets end. And it kind of fell apart over, which is the part I don't really agree with, is the deferred money. I just don't find it necessary on a 3-year deal to defer money. If it's more years, okay, cool. But I guess I'm on Pete's side with that because, well, obviously we don't know what the deferment is because we just saw Anthony Santander got a big chunk of his money got deferred. And
That's like 80% of his contract is deferred.
Yeah, so it's great. But he did was a 5-year deal.
5-year deal.
Yeah, so that's cool. For getting potentially 23 a year, and if he gets $5 million deferred, it's that's even lower for his market, which I understand. But also too, if he does go to Toronto, the income tax is also higher. So, okay, say you don't get deferred money in Toronto, you get deferred money in New York, it probably works out similar, I guess, to total-wise. Like I said, we don't know what the deferments are. And also, too, allegedly, he did talk to the Angels on Thursday, I believe, Tuesday or Thursday. So, both teams, if you go to the Toronto Blue Jays and Los Angeles Angels, he's going to be there for, going chasing the bag, which cool, like I said last week, but definitely going to be a little sad, I guess, on opening day when you don't see him in the lineup for me at least. But, over the last few years, the Mets have made the right moves for letting people walk and stuff. There hasn't really been a killer, I guess, since Daniel Murphy, I think, kind of ruined us. But
he those 2 years in Washington, he killed us.
And also too was almost won MVP the year after, so that definitely hurt. For Pete, wish him the best wherever he goes, but like I said, it's gonna hurt, I guess, for the first month or two, but I'm sure we'll move on and be happy whoever is at first base. So.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was well said. I think The rumor is, I think Andy Martino reported that he doesn't know the number, but he said that the 3-year deal was a lot higher than the $68 million that they offered. So the extra money, whether it's 20 or 25 million, that was deferred.
Okay.
So he didn't. So on paper, it's a bigger contract, but the deferred payments bring it down to whatever the real value of the contract is.
Okay. So
And he still didn't want it.
that's
So
I
that's
didn't know that,
right.
yeah.
So that's the problem. It's just like, dude, they've given you so many different offers. You had the 7-year 158. You had this one now. You had now that there's different deferrals, different options, and you still have said no because you think there's some team out there, and they might be. Artie Moreno is one of the dumbest owners in baseball, so he may end up just giving you what you want. And the Toronto Blue Jays are desperate, but they are right below the Cohen tax. They've only paid tax one time in the last X amount of years. So you think that they're actually going to go inside of the tax to sign him? I don't see that happening. Which means that your market that was this big is now this big.
Yeah.
So pride has a lot to do with this. Is that the fact that you turned down a 7-year deal from the Mets, thinking that you're going to get a bigger bag, it would not look good to you to take a shorter deal and feel like you lost. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that pride and ego was fucking him up. Because what he didn't realize is that you're a polar bear, David Stearns is a shark.
And sharks ate all the bears.
That's it. So that's my thing, is that David Stearns has no loyalty to Pete Alonso. David Stearns might look like the little new guy that I'm a Mets fan, and, but he's Jewish. There's no offense. But he's a killer behind the scenes. Like, he has no remorse. He doesn't. There's no hometown discount. There's no good feelings about, oh, well, Pete's like 25, 27 home runs away from breaking the all-time record. Oh, he has a chance to be an all-time Met. But none of that shit matters to him.
Yeah, if it did, then he would have gotten what he
He would have
wanted.
been got his money.
Yeah.
And that's why Steve Cohen was like, yo, listen, let me handle the Juan Soto contract. I got that. You handle everything else. Cohen can step in anytime he wants to, be able to say, look, let's kind of get this deal done. He doesn't want to. He's letting Stearns deal with it because he trusts Stearns to build the team. So here's my issue, is that the writing has been on the wall for weeks, right? And you got Met fans, well, if Pete Alonso doesn't sign back, I'm not watching. Then don't watch. You know how many players I've seen leave the Mets, but it's still Queens, and we still up. I remember when Hundley left, right? He was a big time catcher. Broke the catcher record for home runs in the season, right? You know who ended up coming after that some years later? Mike Piazza. There's always someone better. Pete Alonso is a good player. I'm not saying that he's bad. But if there's no market for you, where's the bidding war happening? The reason why everybody's like, well, why did Brandon Nimmo get those? Because there were teams that were vying for his services. There's a market. So now we know what this team is offering, what this team is offering. All right, cool. We need to get in there. We gotta give him this if we want to keep it. There's no market for Pete. And I've been telling people this for over a year now. When he gets the free agency, he's not going to see it well. It's not going to end well for him. I'm not shocked. So he can be able to go ahead and play it out as long as he wants to. You want to go ahead and play in Anaheim with a terrible front office and a terrible organization? Go ahead. You want to go to Seattle and playing that big ass Yellowstone Park over there, go ahead. You want to go to Toronto? Because I can guarantee that if they sign you, there's no way that they're gonna sign Vlade to an extension. I just can't see that.
Yeah. He's not gonna get anything.
Yeah, they're already pressed up against the tax.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Look how much money Santander had to literally defer just for them to be competitive into maintaining and being below that tax threshold. Like, Met fans need to understand that we've seen Darryl walk, we've seen Doc walk, we've seen Hundley leave, we've seen Jose Reyes leave, we've seen so many different players leave. It's no different.
Mm-hmm. Like it sucks in the moment, but it's gonna obviously work out in our favor down the line.
That's it.
Yeah.
Next man up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, for me, I've always said this is more on Pete than it is the Mets. Yeah, we want you, but if you don't want to come back, then deuces. But at the end of the day, we're not going to overpay for you because we have bigger plans than you. Because let's be honest, and we've said this already. If Pete didn't hit that home run off of Devin Williams, would you have wanted him back?
You know, like, probably I would not as much, I guess, but you know,
that home run sticks in your mind.
Yeah.
That was his milestone Met moment, right? That's what people are hanging on to. Oh God, Pete's the one that saved us. We wouldn't get to the NLCS if it wasn't for Pete. Okay, we wouldn't be in a close game if it wasn't for Andy Chavez in 06 catching that ball in Shea Stadium against the Cardinals. Is Andy Chavez, does he have any plaques or any jerseys hanging up? No, he doesn't. So players have moments in time. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to turn that moment into a 5 or 6 year deal and lock yourself into a bad contract. That doesn't make sense. People need to take the emotion out of it and look at the bigger picture. Look at this team that we're trying to build. Soto is a superstar. Lindor, superstar. You want athletic guys, young guys that you can be able to build with. You can't build with. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's sad. You don't want to see him go, but at the end of the day, it's like, dude.
Yeah, he was like a part, like when he first came up, they kind of had built up like a random team that had like a mini run toward the end of the year. I don't know what year that was. It was either was it 2019 where they kind of went Mickey Callaway?
Yes.
Where they just like had a spark and missed like the playoffs for like a game or two or something like that.
I believe so.
A couple games. So I remember them saying like this is their group of guys that could potentially be the future. And then obviously that all got torn apart and that whole like regime changed.
Yeah,
and part of that old
and Pete was a part of that old regime. Like, think about it. Think about if Brody Van Wagenen would have had some foresight. You know what? I'm not going to pull it. He would still be on the service right now with a year left.
That was like the big thing is like because he was ready to come up, and then it's like, oh, do we hold him? Just do we have him next year, or let him have his moment?
And Brody, good Brody
thing
didn't care,
but
because he wanted to win. Right. But going to your point, when Pete got called up, Pete was literally considered the guy, right? Yeah. And then we got Lindor.
Yeah.
And then he was still the guy where people say, yo, who's the best first baseman in New York? Is it Judge? Is it? We found out pretty quickly who that was. Then we kept adding players. Now we have Soto. So when you think about the hierarchy of this team, Lindor's the captain, Soto's the megastar, Brandon Nimmo is the heart. What's Pete?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what are you gonna pay a guy that's literally your, if you want to say he's the third best player, whatever, but he's somewhere on that bottom tier below the superstars. You can't give him Lindor money. It's not what happened. I'm sure ain't gonna give him Soto money.
Hell no.
So this is the end of the road. If you want to come back, take the deal that Stearns is giving you. If you don't, then hit the fucking bricks. Like, this is my thing. I'm not into this emotional shit. He's not David Wright to me. We would have lost David Wright when we were in contract negotiations. That shit would have hurt.
Mhm.
Why? Because he was Captain America.
Yeah.
Was the heart and soul of that team. Pete to me is not that. Good Met. He's had a good tenure. He's one of the most prolific power hitters we've had in our history, right?
Yeah.
Better than Dave Kingman. But what do you pay for that? That's so I'm good with moving on. We have the rumors that they're going after Spencer Torkelson. Yes, get it. Yes. 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 Get him.
Mhm.
I don't give a damn what happened last season. He was hurt. But the season before that, he had 37 home runs. Get him. And he's 25 years old. In fact, he's 5 years younger. Go get him.
Mhm.
That's the type of model that David Stearns likes. He likes the young, athletic guys that you will be able to have some future with.
Yeah.
I pay him.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's potential there.
Yeah.
I'll pay Vladdy. There's potential there. I'm not paying no Pete.
Yeah, kind of what his best years.
Yeah,
Oh.
we've seen his best years, and it was his rookie season. He's been downhill ever since. Come on now, I want to hear it. So, last thing before we jump to Dummy of the Week with the Mets. Did you hear the news? Would you be? I want to know if you're going to be open to this. They are looking at Max Scherzer again.
Mhm.
We've had detailed conversations about Max on this show.
Mhm.
Would you have him back?
I would what did Verlander get with the Giants? Like 13, 14, 15 or
Yeah, something
range?
like that.
I would do it for that.
So you would sign him for 1 year, about $13 million?
Yeah, in that range, yeah. Just I know he was dealing with injuries for the last 2 years, but I don't know, potential for cheap. I think it.
You know, when I saw the report come out, I was just like, you know what? Yeah. You know, we need arms. You know, he's a guy that his velocity is going down. He's very stubborn in regards to his regimen. That's why he continues to get hurt, because he thinks like he's 26 again. You're 40. So you need to make some adjustments.
Mhm.
I was like, you know, we need the help. We need depth. I was like, yeah. But then the other side comes out and I say, he's a fucking ops. No. This is the same dude who's just like, oh, well, yeah, trade me because you're no. You cost us that damn wild card series against the damn Padres. You think I'm going to forget? You don't forget? I'm never going to forget that.
I don't know if it was more than him.
He was a part of it. All right?
Even you go back to the Brave series, all the pitchers like
But he was shit.
busted in.
He was rubbish.
Okay.
You try to make me think about it now. No.
Mhm.
Don't try to change my mind. He's the ops.
Okay.
All right, I don't want to hear it. But if he signs for $5 million, yeah,
Pretty cheap. Like even it doesn't have to be what Verlander signed for.
Yeah.
But a cheap deal 1 year, his last year, you know, I wouldn't be opposed.
if it's cheap, I'll consider it. But man, those were some miserable years because we thought that Scherzer was a guy. Like, oh, yo, we gonna get to the World Series. We win 100 games. We get smacked. That's what I'm saying. If he would have pitched well in that game against Padres, I'm not blaming him today.
Mhm.
You pitched well. The offense let us down, or the bullpen did. You pitched like dog shit. It's just like Singer. He got a couple of starts with me. If he starts the season off slow, I'm ready to ship him back. All right? I'm ready to ship him back. So that's my thing. Don't come here and have all this bravado and then do that. If you're going to come back here, make sure you do something special. That's all I'm saying. Then Verlander. Ops. I don't like it. I don't like Pete neither. Like, Pete's wilding. I used to like Pete. but then he started getting real quirky and weird. And now you pulling this.
Mhm.
You got Boris over here doing all this nonsense in the media. Tell your agent what you want. I want to go back to the Mets and I'm taking that deal.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna get nothing higher than that.
Okay.
You're getting a high market value. You're getting more money than Matt Olson, and you're not better than Matt Olson.
Crazy.
How does that make sense to even say no to that? You're not better than him, and he's left-handed.
Mhm.
You're not. Moving on. The greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy. Yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask who is the dummy of the week. Jimmy, super intern. How you got?
We're gonna have to run it back to Elon Musk. I think
Why?
he's
Oh, you talk about with the salute.
yeah, he's out there. I don't know.
Man.
And then the people are like, they're trying so many ways to defend him. Right? It
Yeah.
just seems all. If it's like, why isn't he been like, oh my, like I don't know why.
Because he has no. Have you ever heard Elon Musk apologize about anything?
No.
So they're gonna compare this to what he did. I'm not even gonna do it. That's nasty.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, yo, he's one of the most awkward people I've ever seen. Right? He's socially awkward, and he might be a racist. That's a deadly combination. It is. Ain't no way. And then, like you said, you got people caping. Oh, he did. Look at all the other people. You look at the videos, like that's no even close to what he was doing.
No, there's like random screenshots of like Obama.
Yeah,
And it's like also, why would Obama be in that? Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't like.
It makes sense for Elon.
Yeah, makes.
It don't make no sense over there.
Yeah, that's pretty. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's because he has Asperger's." It's like, what does that mean? Like that make you do that,
Bro? Asperger's doesn't mean that your brain don't work properly.
Yeah, like it's a ridiculous.
Like your Asperger people are very smart people.
Yeah, they're not just.
You know what I
they
mean?
can control their.
You
hands.
know exactly.
Like,
You know exactly what the hell going on.
Yeah, that whole situation. I think, for them.
Yeah, I'm with you with that. I seen that. I was like, hey,
Dummy. Yeah.
man. Silent Assassin, who you got?
I'm going with Billy Ray Cyrus.
What happened with her?
Him.
Him.
Billy is the dad, but he sang at the Trump inauguration and was absolutely terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was awful. But also, like, a sad part of it is his family's kind of like crying out for help to bring him home because I guess like over the years they haven't had a great relationship.
So he's kind of estranged.
Like, I guess on the political end of that, where Miley's brother Trace kind of put like out a letter on Instagram, kind of pleading for the dad to kind of come back, and obviously Trace has like mentioned that there were some issues. He's like, you know what the issues are, so we don't know what that is.
Right.
But, yeah, so also I just feel bad because he's like one of the wholesome dads I watched growing up on Hannah Montana. So to see him out there supporting Trump, support who you want to support, but he's going through it. You have to see the video of him singing. It's just awful.
I don't know what it is with these people that constantly are on TV or they on these things and they go ahead and try to perform and they just sound like dog shit. Like, is anybody not telling you that you don't sound well? Like, what's happening? What is happening?
Dummy. Yeah.
Claw,
Hey, what's up, buddy?
you have one.
The way it looks for me, personally, I'm gonna say Amber Rose.
What? Amber Rose gets the.
Dummy. Yeah.
What happened with Amber Rose?
Ever since she opened her mouth, she's been less attractive. And back in the day when she didn't talk bad as shit. I'm sorry. Sounds sexist to say, but realistically, it's nothing's really good that came out of her mouth.
I mean, you are the misogynist person on the show.
Yeah, so it's just I don't know. She did better when she just walked around and kept her mouth shut. She had a baldy. It didn't say slut or whatever it says on her forehead. That's what it said.
Yeah, I don't know what that
just,
Charles Manson stick is.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird, bro. She just looks like a used toy, and you know that I don't know. She had another.
Yeah, but I mean, she can remove that though.
I don't think you're not.
Would she be more attracted to you if she removed it?
It's over now, though.
Is it?
It's over. It's had its sale.
Well, listen, her guy won. So,
what does
you know,
mean?
she's meaning that she's going to be a lot more in the public now.
Yeah, she'll be talking.
Yeah,
that part.
So you just don't want him to speak.
Yeah.
Very misogynistic.
Thank you. Should.
Dummy. Yeah.
All of those are really good. I think we're gonna have to load up the drum roll at some point later down. You know, for future episodes.
Later down.
May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan again gets my. Now, I've told you and I've detailed how much I hate Hulk Hogan. I do. I think he's a liar. I think he's a racist. And I think he's a guy that just never shows any remorse. Well, Hulk Hogan continues to embarrass himself. Jimmy, where was Hulk Hogan where he did what he did?
Huh?
Did you see that he actually went on? I think he was at an appearance and he did his old Hogan shtick, ripped off his shirt and was wrestling somebody that's in the Republican or MAGA party. It was just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, most of these people don't know who you are. Why? Hulk Hogan hasn't been cool. Like the actual like red and yellow Hogan, he hasn't been cool since like 87.
Since Thunder in Paradise.
Bro, 87 is where the allure started to drop. When people started to be like, we've seen it too much now. We like the Warrior. We like Bret Hart. We like Rick Rude.
I like Rick Rude too.
Like there was that it was starting to happen. It's just like, dude, you continue to put yourself in the MAGA space, do these things, and expect that your money in other situations is not going to get. And I'm not saying that because he's a MAGA, Trump supporter, is going to affect his bread, but it's how you're presenting yourself on TV. Nobody wants to see that shit no more. It's embarrassing. And as somebody who's been a wrestling fan his entire life, it's embarrassing to watch this 70-year-old man still rip his shirt off. Where is the Me Too stuff? Where is the uncomfortable? Wow, this old man took off his shirt and I don't feel comfortable. I don't hear none of that shit. That's why I'm gonna pull the card now. I don't feel comfortable with this old ass man taking his shirt off. That's what it is. Stop. Come up with something else. I'm done with it. I'm over Hulk Hogan. No more Hulk Hogan. Give me Ric Flair. At least he embarrasses himself and it's funny. Hogan ain't funny no more. It's just sad. And on top of that, his beer is a knockoff of Bud Light. It is.
It looks like it.
Not even Bud Light. It's Budweiser. He shots to Pop. Like, Pop love his Bud.
Nah,
he
don't even drink that.
He don't drink that no more? So he wouldn't love this American beer. They literally took the Budweiser logo off the can and slapped this bullshit on there. So not only are you lying to people about your career and what happened, but you lying about the hops. This ain't no real stuff. This ain't real beer. This is a knockoff. Don't get hit. So Hulk Hogan, you get get your ass off TV and go just disappear somewhere. That's all I care about. So
Go listen to you. Carroll did before.
I don't even. He would never listen to me. He wouldn't do it now.
It was a video.
He wouldn't do it now. Because he's a, that's it for this live stream. It was great. Any thoughts? Any critiques?
Yeah, I'll go last. You guys have.
No, you go first. Go ahead.
Okay. So it's good. I mean, I really like the engagement with the people.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool. I think that we move very quick. The fact that there's no lunch.
It's the first episode.
I'm just saying, let's put a little parameter in there. So
You can't listen. You can't complain about the first episode of the live stream. You can't do that. We will implement things. We will have a call break. If that's what you want.
I think we should have a union.
No, we're not gonna have a union.
You gotta have a union.
Just like Hulk Hogan, I'm gonna shut that down. All right. So yeah, call break will be an official thing that we have. All right.
All right then.
Just to appease.
I'll shoot some other things over because I have other. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't care about any of the other stuff.
Good talk.
Jimmy the Super Intern, how do you think it went?
Seems pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I wasn't watching it on the computer, but it looked like it did in real life.
Yeah.
I think it went well.
Pretty good. Silent Assassin.
I think it went great.
I think so.
Thumbs up.
I don't have a PSA. Do you have a kind word of the week? Before we get out of here?
And this is just, you take it for what it's worth. Not everybody's meant to be a dad. Some people don't have that shit in them.
Right.
So, just because you produce offspring doesn't make you worthy enough to be called a father.
You got deep, bro. I didn't think that you was going to get that deep. I mean, yeah.
Don't try to measure me.
My thing is like, if you're going to be a parent, make sure that you're prepared for it. And if you're not prepared for it, you need to get on the fucking wall and do what you got to do.
Do something. Do your best. Just a little bit of effort goes a long way.
My PSA, I guess I'm going to have one. Because I just thought of it. No matter what you do, put yourself in position to win. I don't care what it is. Just always be 10 steps ahead. Don't have one stream of a situation to succeed. Have multiple. Give yourself a chance to succeed. Because if you don't, you're going to end up scooping up dog soup for the rest of your life. And we don't want that. So,
you'd be Hulk Hogan.
Or like Hulk Hogan. So that is my PSA. We'll be back next week. I don't know what times. I don't understand how this live stream works. Whenever we figure it out, that's when we go live. Until we get a set time that we're gonna figure it out. But Silent Assassin, I appreciate you, Claw. I appreciate you, Jimmy Super. I appreciate you, Jasmine. The love of my life. I appreciate her for coming down here supporting the first live stream. So we'll be back next week. Thank y'all for supporting. Stay safe. Stay cool. Peace. I'm back with the Jets. I'm back. Woo. All right, back. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have a party. We're gonna have to have a party. I need a welcoming, like a welcome back party. I need something official. I don't need this. I need something special. So
you need beer.
Work that up. Do what you gotta do because I need a grand re-entrance of my Jetsdom.
Right.
All right. Boom.
There'll be none of those Cowboys.
What?
Okay. No Village.
Jets.
All right, cool.
We out of here, baby.